Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Senapataratna. Grab your favorite drink, get a snack, maybe two, and we will get started. Today I have a mandarin orange and some blueberries because I needed two snacks. So there we are. And I have some mango Ceylon tea. So loving life right now. Well, let's get real. So I started something because it's fall and I am now currently walking. So I take the dog every morning, sometimes in the afternoon, matters on how the day is going, for a walk. Now, this is beneficial for both of us, right? Like the dog gets all his energy and I get some exercise. But I have noticed on this walk something that is, well, challenging for me. My dog is a fabulous little beast, and he is very loving and very excited just about life. Like, you really can't blame a dog for really enjoying life. And even today, we're walking along, and a guy is outside cleaning out his car or doing something with his car, and my dog stops at the end of the driveway and just wags his tail. Like, I know this guy wants to spend time with me. Like, I'm behind, and the dog's always wait. He's not a well-trained dog. I mean, especially for walks. Like, he's super well behaved everywhere else, but on a walk, he's always like 20 feet ahead of me, So he stops at this driveway, and this guy, and he's sitting there wagging his tail. Like, I know he's going to want to come over and talk to me. Like, I am lovable. He's going to want to come see me. Like, this is just the way things are. And he does that every time he sees someone. And every time he sees a dog, he's like, oh, look, it's a friend. They're going to love me. Oh, look, they're going to want to pet me. Like, he saw a little girl the other day, and he sat down and was like, okay, come pet me. Like, I'm here. And the little girl kind of looked at us like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Caspian, let's keep moving. And he was like, but the little girl is going to want to pet me. Like, that's just what's going to happen here. And the little girl went right by him, and he just watched her like, what is happening? He just assumes that everyone is there to love him. Even if we're walking by their house, they are there because they want to see him. The whole world evolves around him. And it has been something that has, in the last year, I've been working on rewriting, right? Like, that's something that I've talked a lot about, and about my thought process and how, life throws you lemons and you got to figure out how to make lemonade out of it. And I realized today as I was walking that I've kind of picked up on my dog's attitude. I have picked up in this last year, I have picked up the attitude that people want to be around me. Like, I am lovable and I'm enjoyable and people just want to see me. Now, that sounds super conceited when you say it aloud, right? Like, you're like, oh, Jenny, time to be humbled. And I'll be real, like, that has never been my attitude. My attitude has always been, I'm going to walk out of the house and everybody's going to see all my flaws and they're going to see everything that's wrong with me and no one's going to want to be around me. And so I used to spend time hiding behind people, mainly my husband or child, because they're more interested than I am. And they are more just fill in the blanks than I am. And I realized in this last year that I have allowed the lie that I'm not enjoyable to seep into my life. That I have allowed this to kind of penetrate ever since I was very young, that I wasn't worthy of speaking out and I wasn't something that, was something people would enjoy to be around. And I have just embraced that. Now, we go to a different church every single Sunday. And I don't know if you're in that position. I'm guessing not. Please tell me you're not. Because it's not a good... It's not a great way to live your life. How about that? It is, you're always coming in as the visitor. You're always someone, no one has a clue who you are. And you're making a first impression every single week. And not last week, the week before, or maybe the week before that. I don't even know. We were at a church out east, and I came in and I'm like, you know what, Jen? Put your smile on. This is going to be a great day. I wasn't feeling great about myself because you pack way in advance. And we were at the very tail end of our trip. And I didn't pack enough clothes for all 10 days because I was like, I will just repeat clothes. And we thought about washing clothes, ended up not being it like it's a whole thing. But that day I'm like, I don't feel like I look great. My makeup didn't work out. My hair was doing whatever it thought it should do that day. And I was like, I just don't feel like seeing people today. Have you ever had one of those days? Like, today I would like to not see anyone. I've had those days. And so I walk in, and on my way in, I just say, Lord, I am giving this to you because I do not feel great about myself, but I know that I'm a nice person. And so I got in, and my husband is already in before me, and he's already talking to the pastor. And so it's just me, myself, and I. And so, of course, the greeters at the door greet you, and then they show me to this little table with this lady, and she's explaining the church, and you don't have a lot of time in those 30 seconds to explain I'm the guest speaker's wife, So and then they find out that you're the guest speaker's wife, and they're like, oh, never mind, and they shove you to the side. Where's the next person? Next, It's a very lovely feeling, I'll just tell you. Anyway, so I go and I set up our book table because I'm in charge of the book table when my daughter's not there. So I set up our books, and I go and I sit down for worship, and my husband speaks. I got up for a 30-second, hey, how you guys doing? Yay! kind of thing before church, sat back down, then my husband preaches. During this service, my daughter calls because she's back at home, like my last podcast talked about. And I go under the hall. And so I'm like, hey, what's going on? She never calls. So what's happening? And I kind of walk her through some things. I get off the phone and the service is over. And a lady comes out that I had met at the very beginning at the little table, the little hostess table, or I don't know what they're called. See, I'm so non-churchy that I don't even know what they're called. Welcome tables. I don't know. Anyway. And she was like, you know what? You are just full of joy. She's like, I just met you and I thought, this woman has joy. And it was just that moment that I went, me and my dog. I went in with the attitude of, you know what? People will like me here. People will be excited to hear from me. People will want to say hello. People will want to stop and say hi. Now, when you're at the book table, there are two reactions. Now, this is going to sound really strange, but you have the reaction of complete ignore, like they completely ignore you. They are just like, please do not make eye contact. Please do not say hello. I'm not stopping at your table. I'm just ignoring you. I kind of feel like sometimes I'm giving out bad samples at a grocery store and people are like, nope, I don't want your liverwurst. Just, I'm going to keep walking and not even make eye contact with you. So you get that. Or you get the people that want to come and thank you, Caspian, who wanted to now be heard. You get the people that are like, hey, what are you doing here? And they have a conversation with you, which is very sweet. They don't always buy books, and that's okay, because that's not what it's about for me. It's just about getting to know people a lot of times. And so you kind of have two worlds. And it was just very nice for someone to stop. She didn't want a book. She didn't want any information. She just wanted to say, hey, you're full of joy, and it was just really fun to kind of see you. And I just kind of wanted to come on this morning after I took my dog for the walk this morning. And he's supposed to be quiet. And he's not, obviously. To say, are you hiding? Have you been hiding behind things? And maybe you need to come out and say, hey, you know what? I'm enjoyable. People really do like me. I am someone that is really actually fun to be around. I'm quirky. I'm a little different. Like, I know I am. I am not everybody's taste. Like, let's just be completely real. I know I'm not. I know that there are people that are like, 5 minutes with Jenny and I want to pull out my hair. That's okay, because I have different tastes and different unique things about myself, and so do you. And that's what makes you special, and that's what makes you that are drawn to you. There are people in your life that have tried to get close to you, and you haven't allowed it because you're like, I am not cool enough for them. In fact, someone emailed me today, and we're meeting up for a meal, and I was like, I'm supposed to be in charge of picking, and you know how I feel about that. Like, I'm so bad at picking places to go. So I had picked like the weirdest place on the planet. I was like, let's go to Perkins. Now, I never said it because I didn't have the gumption to say like, let's go to Perkins, because Perkins is no longer cool. Let's just be real. I mean, it still is fantastic food, in my personal opinion. If they brought back the bread bowl salads, I'd be there every day. But they have not. So I was like, this is, but I was kind of scared to say it. And so this person actually suggested 3 places. And all 3 places were like the cool, chic places to eat. Like places that I just don't go to because they're a little too cool for me. And my brain went, I can't go out with this person. I need to cancel this because I am definitely not cool enough to go out with this person. Like, this is just, what am I thinking? And as I was walking, that happened before I went on the walk with my dog this morning. And as I was walking with my dog, and he stood at the end of the driveway going, hey, dude, I'm here. Would you like to pet me? I'm pretty fabulous. I was reminded that I can go out with someone even though I don't feel like I'm cool enough. I have things to add, and I am a lovely human being. And I want you to know that you are too. You are someone that people want to spend time with. And it's an attitude adjustment, where I used to be afraid to go out with people because I was not cool enough. And I was afraid to go out with people or even go into a church and say anything because I wasn't spiritual enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into a prayer meeting because I definitely can't pray like other people can. And I just wanted you to know that where you are is enough for other people. It's time to step outside those shadows and be in our fear. And your fear is running you if you don't walk into a room and go, okay, who can be my friend? Now, I used to have that in probably 1 year of my life, and that's how I met my husband. Because I walked up to him and said, hey, I'm Jenny. We should be friends. And then it kind of faded away, and I have tried to be in the background for so long. And I'm encouraging you to change the way you think about yourself and walk into a room like my dog does and say, hey, who's here to be my friend? And see what will happen. See who's drawn to you. See the other quirky people that you could really enjoy. And even the cool people that you don't think you're qualified to be with could bring you to new cool places. I looked up the restaurant we're going to, and I was like, okay, this is way cooler than I'd ever eat, but let's try it. Gonna bring me outside my comfort zone of Perkins. Here we go. And so I'm just excited for you to step outside that comfort zone and act like my dog Caspian, walking into a room going, hey, who's going to love me today? You. That's really all I have. I wish that I had more and it was more profound, but I don't. So that's all I have for you. You can find me at Real Life with Jenny on Instagram, Facebook, and Be Real. You can also find me at ChristConnection.cc. Exciting news, my husband's new book just came out, Spiritual Warfare for the Normal Christian. And I read it, guys, and I am telling you, I was like, oh, wow, he's a pretty talented man. And he's been studying for 7 years, reading church history, studying the Bible on this specific thing on spiritual warfare. And I can tell you, things can get a little weird sometimes when people talk about it. And this book is not weird. It is practical, and it is something that really could change your life. So go check it out. Kevin Senaparatna, Amazon, Spiritual Warfare for the Normal Christian. You will not regret getting the book. Well, that's all I have for you this week. I just hope and pray that you will take this new attitude of Caspian and walk into your church, walk into your workplace, walk into a coffee shop, walk into a new restaurant with a cooler friend and say, I belong here. Who wants to be my friend? And see what will happen, because you are an amazing person. Have a great week.